go again.
The Twins returned to Target Field last night and opened up a 10-game homestand with a win. It's their 43rd home win of the season. This ballpark might have a little magic in it. The Twins' home winning percentage of .623 is fourth best in the American League. Tonight, the Twins try to keep on a roll at home, playing Game 2 of a 3-game series against the Detroit Tigers. A little boost for Minnesota's pitching staff. Phil Hughes returns to the rotation tonight, right in the heart of this postseason push. The Twins open play tonight, one game behind Texas in the wild card standings. Good evening from Target Field. I'm Marnie Gellner. It has been a little more than a month since Phil Hughes last started a game for the Twins. August 9th, that's the last time he pitched. Today, Paul Molitor said that expectations for Hughes tonight, they're a little bit unknown just because the Twins haven't seen him in game action in 5 weeks. But Hughes said he feels strong. He's had no issues with the back lately. And he talked about managing the mental side of his return tonight.
Every start you get a little amped up for, so it's no different. I've been in this position before, and obviously, hopefully the command and sharpness is what I mainly have to keep an eye on because I haven't pitched in so long. So, hopefully, I go out there and it's like it used to be. So, I'm sure there'll be a couple of emotions at the beginning I'll have to deal with and try and calm myself down, but that's no different than any other start, I don't think.
Hughes will be on a pitch count tonight. Molitor said 70 to 75 pitches. The Twins, though, get a key member of their starting rotation back after a back injury. Phil Hughes, and more on his return after this.
By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. The Twins starting pitching has been very good as of late, and tonight they welcome back Phil Hughes, their opening day starter. He'll be making his first start in more than a month. His mound opponent tonight, oddly enough, has been the rock in the Detroit rotation because of injuries and ineffectiveness. Alfredo Simon has more starts than any other Detroit starter so far this year. And it's a good night for baseball again at Target Field. Dick Bremer and Bert Blyleven with you for Game 2. The Twins won handily. And the starting pitching has really been very, very good. Youngsters like Tyler Duffy stepping up. But the Twins are anxious to see what they're going to get tonight from their opening day starter.
Yeah, the veteran Phil Hughes on the mound here tonight, and he's on a pitch count between 75 and 80 pitches. And the most important thing for Phil Hughes, try to go 5 good innings. That's the big thing. It's the first 3 innings that will determine how deep he goes into the ball game. Keep that pitch count down early. Avoid multi-run innings. Don't give the Tigers too many runs early on so the Twins can come back and win the ball game. And let the bullpen take over, hopefully in the 7th and 8th or maybe 9th inning. Phil Hughes needs a quality start here. It would be nice to get.
Twins keep winning series. They hope that one of these nights they'll get a win and the Texas Rangers will lose and they'll get into a wild card tie. That might be tonight. Miss, got him. And a swing and a miss. Phil Hughes takes the mound tonight, hoping to give the Twins a good chance to win here tonight and build from that. These are looking forward to Hughes' return to the rotation here tonight. Beautiful night for baseball here at Target Field. The Twins with a comfortable win last night and hoping to win the series early. They've won their last couple of series. When Phil Hughes last pitched for the Minnesota Twins, things weren't going so well. They were actually below 500 and it looked like the season was slipping away from them. But in his absence, guys like Tyler Duffy have stepped up and done a great job. Brad Ausmus, envious, I suppose, of the Twins' starting pitching, which is a bit of a role reversal from the last few years. Menard's batting order for the Detroit Tigers in Game 2. Anthony Gose leading things off. Ian Kinsler, Miguel Cabrera, J.D. Martinez, Victor Martinez, Nick Castellanos, Tyler Collins, James McCann, and Andrew Romine.
And it will be 29-year-old, 6'5" Phil Hughes making his 24th start. Now, this is his 4th start against the Tigers. And his first start since August 9th against the Cleveland Indians here, where he ended up losing 8-1 in that ball game, and then put on a disabled list with that lower back inflammation, and just activated or reinstated off the disabled list here today, so he can work this again on a pitch count, about 75 to 80 pitches. And we'll keep an eye on the first 3 innings.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. The young athletic outfield. Rosario in left, Buxton in center, Hicks in right. Palouf, Escobar, Dozier, Mauer, the standard infielders. Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. Paul Molitor reiterating today with the media. It's going to be hard to take these veteran regular players out of the lineup, but tonight taking the opportunity to give Torrey Hunter a rest. Goes, bunts it in the air, foul. On strike. Twins have had a tough time keeping Goes off the bases. He's hit .452 against the Twins.
They got a couple hits in last night's ball game.
Ted Barrett, the home plate umpire, Adam Hamari, Angel Hernandez, and Chris Conroy on the bases.
Yeah, Goes actually even he's been swinging a pretty good bat. 9 hits in his last 23 at bats over the last 6 ball games. 2 for 4 in last night's game.
Missing inside. He was put on the disabled list with the same problem for the second time. Back in his Yankee days, he had something similar, missed about the same amount of time. Inside.
Well, he himself said, you know, it's been a while since he's been on that mound, and it's a control of a fastball, a cut fastball, slow curveball, and occasional changeup for Phil.
2-1. Strike called on the outside corner.
Hughes in his career, this is his 16th career start against the Tigers. 8 wins, 7 losses, an ERA at 4.33. He has 1 complete game against the Tigers.
And a good way to start his night.
That's a big pitch right there for Phil Hughes. Of course, great location with a fastball, but if he can get that breaking ball over just like that, he picks up a strikeout. Good tight rotation. I guess maybe after watching Duffy last night, the way that he handled some of the hitters with that curveball, why not try it?
A strikeout of Goes, and now Ian Kinsler. What a gorgeous night here. Incredible weather. Temperature, I think, topped out about 84 degrees today. Strike called on the outside corner. Windier tonight than it was last night. A pretty good breeze coming in from right field, which will knock anything down hit in that direction. Up the middle, and that'll skip through. Kinsler with a 1-out single. And that'll bring up Cabrera. Tigers had a threat, and instead of the Twins putting up 4 runs in the first, it looked like the Tigers might do something similar, but then Tyler Duffy, who struggled with his control throughout the first inning, gave up a base hit, faced Victor Martinez with 1 out and the bases loaded, and he got a double play grounder. Twins scored their 4 runs, and nobody looked back after that.
Yeah, Phil Hughes, not really a ground ball pitcher, more of a fly ball pitcher. He does have 9 double plays turned behind him, but Cabrera, 0 for his last 15, has had great numbers against Phil Hughes. 17 hits and 36 at bats with 5 home runs.
The ball drilled to right. And caught by Hicks in right. It looked like he lost sight of the ball for a while, and it sailed back and nearly caught him on the noggin.
Boy, it sure did. From our view right here, it looks like Hicks was looking for that ball to hit off the wall. And at the last second, just put up the glove and caught it. That wind sometimes swirls here at Target Field. Cabrera jumping on the first fastball, hitting it the other way, power to all fields.
I don't think there's any question that the wind helped knock that ball down a little bit, or change direction at least.
You see where he's looking, where's the warning track, and then he looks up and makes a nice catch for the second out.
2 down, and now J.D. Martinez. I was talking with Aaron during batting practice today about the wind here, and he says for one thing, regardless of what direction the wind is blowing, there is here's our favorite word, a channel that goes out to the bullpen. There's always a lane out there toward the bullpen that the ball will carry very well, even when it's blowing in from right field. Because those of you who've been here, you know this is a very vertical ballpark, and so when the wind gets in here, particularly from right field, as you said, it bounces around a little bit and it carries very well to left center field. 1-1 to J.D. Martinez. Check swing and ball 2.
You know, a lot of times you'll have ballparks, and I'm thinking at the ballpark in Arlington where we talk about that channel more in right center than in left center, maybe what's here, but same type of formula as far as the stadium in Arlington, kind of enclosed, and once that wind gets in, it just kind of swirls.
2-1 to Martinez. Kinsler at first with 2 down. And now 3-1.
Yeah, Martinez, 36 home runs, 4th in the American League. Chris Davis of the Orioles leading with 42, 1 ahead of Nelson Cruz, and 7th in the American League in runs batted in with 94. Josh Donaldson leading the American League with 119 runs batted in.
Fouled back, and now 3-2. Kinsler will leave early from first. So Hughes, who's been put on about a 75 pitch limit here tonight, would like to get through 5 innings, and it would average about, what would it average exactly, 15 pitches per inning, and this is pitch number 14. Mauer holding on, trying to keep Kinsler as close as possible. Now he goes, and it's a check swing and a walk, and that'll bring up Victor Martinez.
They tried the breaking ball right there. It just missed down and away. So a rare walk for Phil Hughes, only his 16th walk in 145 innings pitched. Of course, last year, what a phenomenal year as far as control. 16 walks in 209 2/3 innings. So he's the stingiest in the American League as far as allowing base on balls.
Victor Martinez.
Martinez, as we mentioned last night, struggling as a left-handed hitter, hitting only .201. .234 overall. And Victor Martinez, 8 hits and 32 at-bats against Phil Hughes with a home run, a couple doubles.
And a strike call. Last year, Victor Martinez hit 32 home runs. Year before that, Miguel Cabrera hit 44. And those are the numbers the Tigers were hoping to get this year. But this year they've combined for 26 home runs.
Yeah, Martinez, a lot of knee problems. That left knee put on a disabled list back in May. Missed about a month with that left knee inflammation. He's had surgery on both his knees over the years.
Ground ball hitting a good spot. Dozier can't flag it down, and Kinsler will score. A slow roller. And the Twins, of course, shifting Martinez, but he hit it between the shortstop and the second baseman. And Martinez gets a first inning RBI.
Yeah, all Brian Dozier wanted to do right here was to dive for it and hopefully knock it down. Might keep Kinsler from maybe scoring from second base. That high fastball that Martinez hits right back up the middle. You see where Dozier's playing in short right field, but he could not get it. That allowed Kinsler to score and allows J.D. Martinez to move to third. So the Tigers take an early 1-0 lead.
And now 17 pitches into the inning and more work for Phil Hughes. Castellanos the batter. And he takes strike one. Oh, 0-1 to the Tiger third baseman. And it's fouled away, 2 strikes. I think you can hear the wind, and you can certainly see it blowing around the field. billowing the jerseys of the players.
Castellanos in his 3rd season with the Tigers. Last year hit 11 home runs, drove in 66 in his first full season. Over his last 26 ball games, hitting .300.
Inside, 20th pitch of the inning for Hughes. And we've of course known Hughes to be a control guy, a strike thrower, but 20 pitches, 12 strikes, and that's to be expected having not pitched in more than a month. Call. I think you said regarding Hughes, stay out of a big inning. Well, he's given up one. I don't think the chances of this game ending 1-0 are very good.
Well, you'll see good pitchers like Hughes, guys that have good control. They struggle first couple innings, and then they settle down nicely, and not really worried about this first inning other than just get out of this inning right here as far as get this out. Only allow 1 run. Stay away from the multi-run inning.
2-2.
We have seen Phil go deep into the ball game because he can get 3 outs in 8 or 9 pitches from time to time.
And up and away now, 3-2. Tyler Collins, the 7th place batter, due up next. Allen hoping that Phil Hughes can finish off the Tigers with this pitch. Base hit to right field. Coming in from 3rd, J.D. Martinez on his way to 3rd. Victor Martinez. Now they've got him hung up between 2nd and 3rd. And Martinez will be tagged out to end the inning. Couple of runs for the Tigers. A base running mistake for Victor Martinez. And it's 2-0 Detroit. Two runs on 3 hits and a walk in the first. Paul Molitor's batting order lines up this way. Aaron Hicks, Brian Dozier, Joe Mauer, Miguel Sano, Trevor Plouffe, Eddie Rosario, Eduardo Escobar, Kurt Suzuki, Byron Buxton on the Menards Twins batting order.
And they'll be facing right-handed pitcher Alfredo Simon, 34 years old, 6'6", about 260, making his 28th start of the year. And his 3rd start this season against the Twins. 1 good, 1 bad. And his 4th career start against the Twins.
North left for defense for the Tigers. Tyler Collins in left. Anthony Goes in center. J.D. Martinez in right. Castellanos and Romine left side of the infield. Kinsler Cabrera on the right. And James McCann behind the plate. Hicks, Dozier, and Mauer with the Twins down 2 Hicks walks out of the box or up to the front of the box and takes ball one.
Yeah, Simon with a good moving fastball, two-seamer and a four-seamer. Two-seamer will sink. Hard slider, curveball, and a changeup, so all 4 pitches.
Up and away, 2-0.
And they say in Detroit sometimes he has 7 pitches, and it's tough to catch him with only 5 fingers that you have as a catcher.
Last start wasn't very good. 9 hits, 6 2/3 innings, 5 earned runs. There's a strike. He's had a bunch of those in the second half of the season. 6 runs, 4 runs, 8 runs, 6 runs, 5 runs. 2-1. And a base hit to right. Hicks doing a great job out of the leadoff spot, getting first inning base hits.
Boy, he really is. Fastball right there. And last night's ball game, I thought, got the biggest hit of the ball game when he took that Lobstein's fastball with 2 strikes to right field. Here he gets a fastball and pulls it into right field.
And now Brian Dozier at the plate. Tigers got Simon to fill out their rotation, and in reality, as we said before, he's been the closest thing they've had to a reliable starting pitcher in terms of taking the ball every 5th day. Dozier to the left field corner. Collins makes a nice shoestring catch. Dozier with a bullet, and Tyler Collins made a nice play for the first out.
Boy, he did. He was shading Brian a little bit down that left field line, and Brian hooked that ball into the corner, but Collins came over and made a nice running catch. Picked that almost off the grass right here, the turf at Target Field. Good concentration, nice catch by the left fielder.
And now Mauer with 3 hits in his first 3 at-bats last night, including a first inning double. Inside, ball 1.
Yeah, last time Simon pitched here was back on July 11th, just before the All-Star break. He had his shortest outing of the year against the Twins. He worked only 2 1/3 innings, gave up 5 runs on 10 hits, 7 runs total, 5 earned. And Phil Hughes at that time in that game was his mound opponent.
Off the plate, 2-0.
Simon has struggled on the road this year. In 14 starts on the road, he has won 6. Half of his wins have come on the road, but he has a road earned run average at 6.19.
So you don't think this game will end 2-0?
I don't think so. Giving up 21 home runs, 14 to left-handed hitters that are hitting .286 off of him.
3-0 with Sano on deck.
Simon, a free agent at the end of the year, traded over from the Cincinnati Reds over the winter to the Tigers. Made the All-Star team last year when he won 15 ball games for the Reds.
But as we hinted, he had a much better first half than second half, and that was one of the concerns even in acquiring him. Ball 4. The only out that he's gotten was Dozier's bullet to left field. First and second one down. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Joe Mauer now with 35 games in a row where he's reached base. 7 behind Edwin Encarnacion.
Yeah, 19 times he has drawn a walk in those 35 games. So yeah, Joe finds a way to get on and hopefully will score.
And now Sano.
Keep wanting to say Alfredo Simon. He was Simon for a long time.
Yeah, when he was with Baltimore,
right,
it was Simon.
Now he wants to be Simon. But that walk right there, his 63rd walk in 161 innings pitched.
And a breaking ball over the inside corner.
Slow curveball.
He's got a slower one that he'll spin up there in the 60s. Tigers got Simone. Shane Green was supposed to be the.
No Simon.
I'm sorry. See, now that I was just fine until you brought that up. Simon, 1 strike.
Like Albert Bell all over again.
Simon was acquired, and then Shane Green too was supposed to help fill out the rotation behind Verlander and Sanchez. And there isn't much in the pitching department that's gone right for the Tigers this year. Verlander was gone for first half of the year.
Yeah, Green ended up having surgery.
1-1. Right to Castellanos. And Sano wraps into an inning-ending double play. 2-0 Detroit. And when we come back, Torrey Hunter will join us from the dugout. Runs in the first inning. We're happy to have the Twins opening day right fielder Torrey Hunter with us. Torrey,
how you guys doing?
Yeah, you point at him, tell him no seeds. Can't you control that?
Nunez is upset that I look better than him. so he throws seeds to try to make me look bad.
Torrey, you got a rare day off, rarer than you would like. Or you want to play. You don't want to sit and watch and do TV interviews. I know that. What's it been like for you this year in terms of how you felt in the second half compared to the first half?
Man, first half I felt fine. I felt good physically, mentally. Second half maybe got a little tired. A couple of little injuries here and there, but no injuries barring because I was old. It was only because of playing hard or whatever, get hit by a pitch, whatever it may be, and then I have to try to bounce back. But I tried to be in there as much as I could, and Malik was giving me days off here and there. It's different for me, man, because I love to play every day, and that's what keeps my rhythm. When I have days off, it takes me a minute the day I come back to kind of find my rhythm again. And so I'm just a guy who wants to play every day to keep a rhythm. And when I'm having all these days off, I don't like it. And Molly knows it.
Hey, Torrey, you were given a baton by Kirby Puckett. You give him a lot of credit for your attitude and your desire and a love of the game of baseball. But you know what? When you don't play, I watch you. You work out just as hard, maybe harder on the days that you don't play. High fastball right there gets Collins for Hughes' second strikeout. But what keeps you motivated, Torrey?
Man, you know what? Just the desire to win, man. I want to go out there and win on a day-to-day basis, and I also want to have a part in it and help the ball club win. So if I'm not playing, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, I might have a chance to pinch hit. So I hit, I go about my business like I'm playing. I run, I do my sprints, get in the whirlpool, get a massage, whatever I need to do, kind of prepare myself just in case I have to come up in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning to
massage.
Yeah, I get a little bit of a massage. Uh-oh.
Hit to the right field corner. Hicks chasing it, and he'll play it off the wall. It's a base hit from McCann, and a double with one out here in the second.
McCann has really enjoyed hitting here at Target Field, and he's kind of taken over that role as the everyday catcher with the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, he can hit.
Hey, Torrey, you got a chance to do something pretty special twice. Get this Twins team back into the playoffs after a drought. Today's actually an anniversary of sorts. It was on this date in 2002 that the Twins clinched a division championship in Cleveland, and then we all had a very entertaining bus ride to Detroit. You remember that celebration 13 years ago?
I remember that celebration in Cleveland, man, and guys went crazy, and
a little roller to short. Escobar picks it up 2 away.
Guys went crazy in the clubhouse, and I remember Eric Milton. Well, someone slid. I think it was Kyle Lowe. She slid face first on the plastic, and it had champagne all over, and he slid head first like a slippery slide and ran into Eric Milton's knee, and we lost him. So we'd never forget that. It was the quietest bus ride after a celebration to Detroit.
Yeah, speaking of celebrations, you brought the fog machine, the disco, dancing, all that stuff. You guys having a lot of fun with that. I just saw it on Twitter. Brian Dozier tweeted you and him doing the dance last night. A lot of fun, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. You have to. That clubhouse is it's got to, you got to have some kind of clubhouse chemistry and a lot of fun. You know what? We just try to reward ourselves for winning. And when we lose, we don't like it. We play Bob Marley, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing will be all right. We play that with the days we're losing, but it's no fun. It's nothing like a dance party, and that's what we try to do, reward ourselves for winning, and that's the feeling. Every day we want to really.
Yeah, you know what, Torrey?
Really?
When I was with the Pittsburgh Pirates, Willie Stargell did the same thing. If we lost a ball game, the music got louder because you forgot about it. You went on and. When you won a ball game, yes, you celebrated, and you got Willie Stargell stars on his hat.
Yeah, celebrate winning. That's what we want to do. And I tell you what, when we don't, guys are sad in that clubhouse. So that's why we really celebrate all these small victories, man. In the end, it helps us to go on and try to get into the postseason.
Torrey, you've won Gold Gloves. You've been to the All-Star games. You've been to postseason. One thing missing, the World Series for you.
Oh, yeah, man. Every player is brainwashed. Every player on this field today, every player in Major League Baseball is brainwashed to get to the World Series. And, I've been trying to get there for years. And I've been to postseason 8 times and been in the ALCS 3 times and never got to the postseason. So, to the World Series. So I'm really trying to get there. This year, this team is giving me a good chance and giving themselves a good chance. And that's all you want. You just want a chance, and we have that.
I'll tell you what, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but next year.
It's up in the air.
Okay.
This offseason, I'm going to travel, watch some college football, watch my boys in college, and kind of think about things. And, if my body's feeling good physically. And
base hit for goes. A chopper just out of Plouffe's reach, and McCann scores from third. It's 3-0.
Yeah, high breaking ball right there. Goes stayed back nicely and just hit it the other way. Picks up his 26th run batted in, and it's a 3-0 lead.
It goes at first now with 2 down. Well, Torrey, if you do come back and play him, I presume you prefer to come back as a Twin, right? You wanted to finish your career here, correct?
Yeah, everybody knows that, and I do. I want to finish my career. Mickey's looking at me saying, "Why are you not in right field?" Because I'm old. But I definitely think that if I do come back and play, it's going to be with the Minnesota Twins. That's something that I really want to do, is retire in this uniform, and so this offseason I'm really going to think long and hard, and we'll see where we go from there.
Well, there's a lot of guys that have worn that uniform with a lot of class and dignity, and you're right there on top, Torrey.
Oh, thank you very much, man. I'll pay you later. $50, right? For saying that. All right, I got you.
Come on. I know what you're making. It's a lot more than $50.
Well, I'm still the same guy. I'm frugal. I try to be smart with it.
Hey, Torrey's got kids in college too. I know what that's like.
I got kids in college. No matter if they got a scholarship or not, they can always call home.
Speaking of awards too and money, no, congratulations on what you give back to the community and also being part of the Roberto Clemente the nomination.
Oh, thank you, man. You know what? The things that I do, whether it's on the field or off the field, is never for awards. You know, I just do what I have to do, whether it's giving back to the young guys and giving back to the community, giving back on the field. That's what I do. You know, it's a part of me. And so I never do anything for rewards or awards. And I do everything out of the kindness of my heart, the goodness of my heart, and the way God wants me to do it.
And that's exactly what Roberto Clemente did.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Torrey, we're going to thank you for your time here today, but also tell you we're down 3-0. Grab a bat. We may need you to come off the bench here later on tonight.
Yep, I'm already loose. You know what? I'm going to go back in the whirlpool right now and get loose again.
Get a massage while you're at it.
And it's soup and coffee, too.
Thank you, Torrey.
Hey, thank you guys for having me, man.
Ground ball to Plouffe.
Good timing.
And on cue. That's the end of the inning, but the Tigers get 2 more hits and another run. It's 3-0 after inning and a half. Do a little clearer context. You have to remember what happened the winter before. The team was almost rubbed off the map through contraction, and there was a ball hit foul. There was a fire in the belly with everybody in that team because they came together the 2 years prior to that, were in contention in 2001 and then faded towards the end and wanted to come back and win, and the whole winter was just so unsettling for everybody. Plouffe takes outside 1 and 2.
Well, Tom Kelly had, he had kind of left, and then Ron Gardenhire took over.
Took a job for a team that might not exist.
Right. And he did a heck of a job.
1 and 2 to Trevor Plouffe, leading off the Twins' second, and now 2 and 2. Twins won 3 straight division championships. The Tigers have won 4 straight coming into this year, and if they lose tonight or if Kansas City wins, they'll be mathematically eliminated from a 5th straight AL Central championship. Chopped foul.
Ouch.
And there's been frustration in Detroit, as there was when the Twins were winning divisions on a regular basis.
You see that the pad right there off the shin, but that right off the top of the foot of Trevor Plouffe. Some shiny shoes.
Tigers under Jim Leyland won 3 straight. Brad Ausmus in his first year won another division title and fouled back. But there's been frustration because the Tigers were put together for most, if not all, of that 4-year run with the idea of winning the World Series, not winning the division championship, and they haven't done that yet. And almost certainly not going to get it done this year. 2-2 to Plouffe, who asks for time.
Now Simon really pitching Plouffe hard inside. Last 2-3 pitches have been hard in.
To center and deep, goes back, still back, and on the track makes the catch, one away. Some very well struck outs here against Simon. You can establish 2015 postseason priority by buying season tickets for 2016. Don't miss an inning of postseason play and experience exclusive sweet spot benefits such as 10% off food and beverage at Target Field. For more info or to place a deposit, call 612-375-7454 or visit twinsbaseball.com/season tickets today. Here is Rosario. Twins hoping to get in as a wild card team, barring an historic collapse by the Kansas City Royals. There is no Central Division championship to play for the Twins or anybody else. The Twins a game out in the wild card standings, trying to catch and pass. Wait till you go through puberty. Catch and pass the Texas Rangers and or the Houston Astros. Drilled to right center field. And that should be extra bases for Rosario. Ball stays pinned against the wall, so Rosario digging for third is in with a triple.
And another triple for Rosario. 3 for 3 now off of Simon is Rosario. That's his 12th triple of the year. Simon fell behind, came in with a high fastball. Rosario jumped all over it. And he's at third base with 1 out. I think the decision maker right here for Rosario as he rounded second base is where that ball hit. It hit in right center, but watch it hit the base of the fence and then die. It didn't come bouncing back to Goes. And that gave Rosario a little extra time to get over to third.
And that'll bring up Escobar. Tigers with a 3-0 lead. Escobar trying to get one back here in the bottom of the second. And fouled back and out of play. Everything that's been put in play has been hit with the barrel of the bat. Even Sano's double play grounder was a hard 2-hopper hit right to Castellanos. Dozier lined out to left. Plouffe hit one about 400 feet to straightaway center field.
Yeah, Kiermaier of the Tampa Bay Rays lead the American League coming into this game with 12 triples, and Rosario just got his 12th.
One strike. And now inside. Twins are 16-6 since August 20th. And on the year, they as a team have hit .280 with runners in scoring position. 4th best in the major leagues.
Yeah, just drive in Rosario right here. Infield playing back. They will concede a run.
And McCann blocks it out in front of home plate.
It's Kiermaier and now Rosario leading the American League in triples. Rosario, remember, he didn't come up till early May.
He has added 9 home runs and 17 doubles. 2-1 to Escobar. Great stop at second by Kinsler. A line drive, and Kinsler sprawling into the outfield grass made a great catch.
Yeah, you wish if you're a Twins fan, hit the dirt first, and Kinsler made a great play, but he's able to catch it in the air, so Rosario had to stay at third base. Escobar waiting back and lining it, but Kinsler diving for it and getting it before it could hit the grass for the second out. So a couple of nice plays behind Simon so far in this ballgame. Collins in left, and right there Kinsler at second.
And again another ball hit with the barrel of the bat. Here's Kurt Suzuki, 5 for 11 with a couple of home runs against Simon. Strike one. Now 1-1.
Simon came to the big leagues with the Baltimore Orioles. He originally signed by the Phillies back in 2000 out of the Dominican Republic as a free agent. When he was with the Orioles, basically worked out of the bullpen and then traded over to Cincinnati, where he worked the first 2 seasons in the bullpen, and then they put him in the starting role last year, and he won 15 ball games.
Sharply hit off the glove of Castellanos, and Suzuki delivers the first Twins run with a 2-out single.
Well, as you mentioned, Kurt had good numbers against Simon. 5 hits and 11 at-bats with a couple home runs, and hits that ball sharply. And Castellanos diving to his left, hit off his glove. That allows Rosario to score. Sinking fastball. And just off the tip of the glove, allows Rosario to score the Twins' first run. For Suzuki, his 46th run batted in.
7 balls have been put in play, and all of them hit sharply. Here's Buxton. And a bunt, and a good one. Simon doesn't get there in time.
Well, another reason why the Twins would like to see this guy do exactly that more often. You can't play that ball any better. Ramon, or last night, the shortstop, Romine could have not made that play any better than he did.
On his infield hit.
Right.
Right.
And right here, look at the speed of Buxton. Just lay it down and utilize God's given speed.
Again today, before regular batting practice, Buxton was working on his bunting. And on the first pitch, he gets a bunt single. And now the tying run on. And Hicks at the plate. Extra base here. Hit here by Hicks should tie the game with Buxton at first. Up and away, ball one. Touched for 3 early runs. Hicks takes a strike. Simon was, as you said, almost exclusively a relief pitcher, and then the Reds, out of necessity, put him in the rotation.
He pitched almost 200 innings last year after a career high 115 innings when he was with the Orioles.
1-1. Popped up, backing out of one. And it sure looks strange to see Simon's numbers and then realize that he has been the one guy who Brad Ausmus has been able to rely on this year. This is his 28th start. Sanchez with 25 starts. He may not pitch again today. He was supposed to start tomorrow, but got more shoulder issues, and is going to see James Andrews tomorrow instead. 1-2 to Hicks. Twins with a couple of 2-out hits here in the second. And a foul. Verlander's only made 16 starts. Shane Green got off to a great start. He's only made 16 starts before he got hurt. This was a pitching-rich major league team. Jeff Jones, a pitching coach.
We kind of touched on it last night. All the great pitchers that are now pitching somewhere else.
2 years ago, the rotation was Scherzer, Verlander, Sanchez, Pfister, and Porcello. 1-2 to Aaron Hicks. Struck him out. And the Twins get 3 hits, get a run back thanks to a 2-out hit by Suzuki.
Target Field, and Minnesota is using a different outfield combination again tonight. Last night Aaron Hicks was in left, tonight he is in right, and I talked to him about knowing the other outfielders, knowing their range, getting used to them, having a feel for them, and Hicks said it really comes with having a lot of games, and these guys don't have a lot of games together. So Hicks said he looks at Byron Buxton every batter. He looks at where he's positioned. If he's shading more left or more right, meaning does Hicks need to cover more ground or less ground? Hicks told me, I know where Buxton is at all times. And Paul Molitor, guys, said that communication has been a big part of this, and he said, I'm not going to lie to you, I thought about that, putting these young guys in, rotating them often, but so far he's had no problems plugging different guys into those different outfield spots.
Thank you, Marty. Yeah. It's the biggest challenge, of course, is for Hicks. Rosario's done it well this year, playing one corner outfield spot, then moving to the other, and then going back to the original spot in left field. And now Hicks is kind of being asked to do the same thing.
Well, they're great athletes out there. They will learn and make the adjustments.
Breaking balls, right?
Curveball there, yeah.
The preference is to have Hicks in right, because as good as Rosario's arm is, Hicks has got an absolute cannon out there. And you typically want your right fielder to have the strongest arm in your outfield for that throw to third base from the right field corner, for instance, inside 2-2. .26 strikes for Hughes, 62%. Facing Cabrera, leading off the third. Back. This is looking more and more like maybe a 4-inning start for Hughes, not a 5-inning start.
Got 23 pitches in the first, 15 in the second.
Cabrera hit a bullet into the wind in right field. Hicks made a nice catch. Now a tapper to short. Escobar gobbles it up. One down. And that'll bring up J.D. Martinez. Martinez with a walk and a run scored in the first. Last year, Phil Hughes only walked 16 guys all year, taking the ball every 5th day. And the walk of Martinez was his 16th walk this year. Now he's missed some time, of course, but still, that's very good control. 1-1. And now 2-1. Twins trying to get into the postseason for the first time after a 4-year absence. One thing is abundantly clear. There's going to be a lot of turnover in the American League playoffs this year. Of the 5 teams that were in it last year, only Kansas City right now looks like they're going to get back there. Baltimore right now is not really in the wild card picture. The Angels are fading a little bit. Oakland's pegged in the bottom of their division. And Detroit, of course. So the 5 teams who played last year, only one, it appears, is going to make a return trip this year.
Remember, Kansas City was a wild card, you know, behind the Tigers in the division.
Two and 2 to J.D. Martinez. Pitch number 50. And it's fouled back.
Strike to ball ratio okay for Phil Hughes. Just too many pitches in a short amount of time. Only 1 out here in the 3rd inning. I said the first 3 innings are going to say how far he goes into the ball game, but needs some quick outs here if he wants to get through 5 or can.
I don't know that anyone expected, at least I didn't, Phil Hughes' velocity to return in this start, but the hope is that it'll come back. It's been the fastball speed upper 80s, low 90s, 90, 91. We haven't seen 93, 94 yet. Breaking ball and another foul.
He had some of these long at bats.
4 2-strike fouls for Martinez.
Back to the breaking ball.
Full count. Victor Martinez on deck. Twins thought about other options for Hughes rather than starting him here. Could have gone down to the minor leagues and made a start. Cedar Rapids Colonels advanced to the championship of the Midwest League. High and deep to the right field corner, and Hicks looks up. And a foul ball. Plenty of distance, and Victor Martinez is talking to Brad Ausmus about challenging that.
Omar Vizquel, the first base coach, hasn't really motioned maybe to his manager, but Ausmus coming out. See if we can see the ball in front of the front of the foul pole.
We've seen Martinez at least twice here at Target Field hit an opposite field home run.
Tremendous power to all fields.
Just missed the fair pole there. So the battle will continue in a 3-1 game. The 5th 2-strike foul. Got the inside corner and got him looking.
Yeah, little cutter. Started inside and came back over the corner. Ted Barrett, the crew chief here, saying that was strike 3. So a long battle won by Phil Hughes. He picks up his 3rd strikeout.
Yeah, it wasn't close to a strike.
I'm okay with that.
2 down. Here's Victor Martinez with the bases empty. Popped up, back and out of play. See the Twins shifting Martinez again. This time they have Escobar on the right field side of second base. In the first inning, he was almost behind the bag. There's a called strike on 2.
Yeah, Trevor Plouffe playing the third baseman, playing pretty much up the middle, just on the second base side.
It is Escobar playing the shortstop position, and now with 2 strikes.
Now Trevor going back over to third.
0-2. Just a little bit low. And it's 1-2. And that was a strike according to Fox Tracks. Foul back. A.J. Octor warming up in the Twins bullpen. Plenty of arms out there. And over Plouffe's reach. A 2-out hit for Victor Martinez.
Yeah, his second hit, and again hitting only .201 coming into this ball game from the left side of the plate.
Join Fox Sports North and the Minnesota Wild for the breakaway 10K, 5K, and 1-mile run Saturday, benefiting the Minnesota Wild Foundation. All participants receive a t-shirt and are qualified to win 2 sweet tickets for the Wild Oilers game on Saturday, September 26th. For more info, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar. Castellanos drove in the second Tiger run with a single, and then Victor Martinez inexplicably stopped between second and third on the base hit and was easily tagged out.
Yeah, it was on a 3-2 pitch. Martinez took off. Looked like he was going to go to third, and then maybe the knees bothered him right there. Tried to get back to second, but ended up getting picked off.
1-0. And a breaking ball and a strike. A game of inches. J.D. Martinez missed the fair pole by inches. Then he was called out on a pitch inches off the plate. 2-1. And all you can say is hang with him, right?
Well, you know what? We can look at Foxtrack, but it's a home plate umpire. What he will give you, what he won't give you. I still attest. You can look at Foxtrack all you want, but certain umpires have certain strike zones, and if you hit that glove, you can make that plate expand a little bit. When Phil is good, he does that. He does a good job of that. Not here tonight. He's really struggling here tonight. This will be pitch number 64.
And a fastball down the middle at 90 miles per hour. Well, last year when Phil won 16 ball games and became the ace of the Twins, that fastball was 93-94. Collins on deck. He was trying to get through his longest inning so far. Facing just his 4th batter. Got him. A strikeout ends the 3rd. The Tigers lead 3-1.
To left field. Are you kidding me?
What a comeback by the Twins.
The most electric moment at Target Field in years.
A 6-run 9th inning. The Tigers had a 5-run lead, and the Twins won the next 2 games and struggled coming out of the break, but the Tigers have never recovered from Dozier's home run against Joakim Soria.
Back on July 7th, or excuse me, the 10th.
It's Dozier's 2nd walk-off home run of the homestand. He did it something similar earlier against the Orioles, but the Tigers, until it's proven otherwise, are still the team to beat, having won 4 straight division titles. The Tigers were just a couple of games behind the Twins at the time, and the Tigers have went on, as we said last night, really struggled the rest of July, forcing the then general manager Dave Dombrowski's hand to trade a lot of his better players. 2-0 to Dozier. Knocked down. Castellanos comes up firing and got him. What a play by Castellanos. He started a key double play in the first, and a backhanded stop and a quick recovery to throw out Dozier.
Yeah, Castellanos fought with that ball right there, knocked it down, recovered quickly, and got it across the infield very quickly to Cabrera. Watch him knock it down. The ball looked maybe saving a double right there, but then he gets up quickly, and a bang play at first base. Cabrera reaching and getting it before Dozier can get to the bag.
One down, and now Mauer, who drew a 1st inning walk. He has Plouffe type numbers offensively. Castellanos with a high fielding percentage. Mauer takes a strike. Softest hit ball against Simon. Mauer taps out, 2 down. So since that night when Brian Dozier broke the hearts of the Tigers, they have the 21-36 record, the worst record in the American League. David Price traded to the Blue Jays. Soria traded to the Pirates. Cespedes may win yet the National League MVP for what he's done for the Mets. And then they fired Dave Dombrowski. And Al Avila is now the general manager. And there are reports that Brad Ausmus will not be back next year. Inside, and Sano hit by the pitch. It glanced off of Sano and then really stung McCann, it looked like. That'll bring Plouffe up as the tying run.
Yeah, the running fastball in on Sano. Let's see where it gets him. Right on the thigh, and then ricochets off the right arm of McCann. Or left chest area.
Plouffe with a deep fly to center. Carrying goes out to the warning track. And he takes strike one. And a base hit to left. Simon isn't fooling anybody. He's got a 2-run lead. But now Sano hit by a pitch. Plouffe with a base hit, and now Rosario, who drilled a triple to the gap in right center his first time up.
He ought to thank his defense for where he's at right now. Ahead by a couple runs. Collins in the first inning made a great catch out in left field. Then you had Kinsler made the nice diving catch off the bat of Escobar. And then this inning started with Castellanos making a great defensive play off of Brian Dozier.
Rosario with a 1-out triple, scoring on a 2-out single. And he takes strike one. Twins are 6-8 against the Tigers this year, after being swept in the first 3 games in Detroit. Back to the pitcher. Underhanded to Cabrera. And the Twins are done, leaving 2 on in the third. And locally grown Minnesota apples that are ripe for picking, eating, and drinking. To learn about where to pick, buy, or taste Minnesota apples, Visit exploreminnesota.com. Share and tag your Minnesota experiences with #OnlyInMN. Dozens of open to the public orchards are around the state. And Minnesotans and visitors alike will have no shortage of good picking come early September or through late October, depending, of course, on the weather and the strain of your apple. Phil Hughes has done 3 innings, 3 runs, and it'll be A.J. Ochter coming into the ball game to pitch to the Tigers on the 4th.
Yeah, Ochter making his 9th relief appearance. A couple times up with the Twins this year, back in early August, and then a September call-up. 12 pitchers out on that bullpen, actually for both sides, the Tigers and the Twins. And Ochter, the first one out after Phil Hughes threw 65 pitches in 3 innings.
Popped up over near the tarp and out of play.
A.J. Ochter, 27 years old, last pitched on Saturday in Chicago, 1 shutout inning. And that 8-2 Twins loss to the White Sox.
And another foul ball. Kansas City leading Cleveland 2-0. It's in the bottom of the 8th inning. Chris Medlin with a great start for the Royals against the Indians. Texas leading Houston 4-3, bottom of the 3rd. 2 strikes to Collins. And now strike 3. Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use #NorthDataStrongFan. And you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. 1 down in the 4th. James McCann will hit. And you said it, he's loved hitting in this ballpark so far. Triple last night, double today, and inside the park home run earlier this year. It's way out in front, strike 1.
Alex Avila was the catcher here in Detroit, but McCann has kind of taken over. Just 25 years old, his 2nd season with the Tigers. Last year appeared in only 9 ball games. Tigers' number 2 pick in 2011. Played his college ball out of the University of Arkansas.
Two strikes to McCann, who grew up just south of Detroit in Toledo, Ohio. Remember last year he pitched at Comerica Park, got his first big league win against the Tigers in front of a lot of friends and family, high school coaches, on that sort of thing. 1-2.
Ochter out of Michigan State. High draft pick for the Twins in 2010. He was a 46th round pick.
Dozier with the play from his knees, throws him out. What a sensational play by Brian Dozier.
Well, we saw some good plays by the defense of the Tigers, and now Brian Dozier showing off his range and the way that he went about this ball right here. He knows the catcher's running, has plenty of time, makes a nice, solid, easy throw over to Joe Mauer. Knows he has time, gets up, little flip, and getting McCann for the 2nd out. Nice defensive play by Brian Dozier. And he has done a great job at 2nd. You see where he ranks. Only Jose Altuve has a better fielding percentage at 2nd base.
6 errors on the year. That's it. 2 down on the 4th, and now Romine to left center. Buxton and Rosario. It's Rosario with the catch, and Ochter comes out of the pen and has a quick 1-2-3 4th inning. Eduardo Escobar will lead off the Twins' 4th.
your link to what's next. By NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here.
Eduardo Escobar taking a first pitch strike from Alfredo Simon. Escobar, Suzuki, and Buxton. Escobar lined out to Kinsler, who made a nice lunging catch, and then Suzuki and Buxton got base hits. Their first time up. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And now Escobar has to battle. A piece of that to stay alive.
Simon really changing speeds a lot here tonight. A lot of changeups, occasional fastball, 48 pitches, 30 strikes.
Fouled back, throws just enough of those to keep you honest, and then tries to get you out with the soft stuff.
That's how we struck out Aaron Hicks in the second inning. Got a couple fastballs and then off speed. You can see the 4 pitches he's thrown to Escobar right here.
0-2. And now off the plate.
.50, 31 strikes.
Either starting pitcher has been very effective. Hughes is already out of the game. Will pop up to center. Goes coming in, and it's a shortstop, Romine, with the catch, 1 away. Zubaz Palooza is returning to Target Field. It's a special offer, including a reserve seat for the game Friday, October 2nd, when the Twins take on the Royals, plus your very own limited edition Minnesota Twins Zubaz pants. Take advantage of the offer, available exclusively by logging on to twinsbaseball.com/Zubaz.
I hope we get a pair of those. Those will be my winter apparel, hanging around the house. Every day I'm going to wear them if I get a free pair. How about you? Going to wear them in the fish house?
I'll have my union suit on underneath the long underwear, probably, but you really would wear that? That would be your winter time.
Oh yeah. Walking around around the house, going out to the park, take the kids out to the park. Yeah. I had those when when they were first in style. I had about 3 or 4 pairs.
See, that's giving them the benefit of the doubt. I don't know if they were ever in style. They were popular.
They were with me.
They were popular. I've got a couple of pair left from long ago.
I wore mine out.
And we'll move on now with Kurt Suzuki at the plate with an 0-2 count. People think that they pay me what they pay me to broadcast baseball games. In reality, they pay me to just steer this ship away from.
We go on that winter caravan. I think I'm going to wear them every day on.
Is that right? Caravan. And I've failed in my mission here to get us off the subject. 1-2 to Suzuki.
I hope they give me more than 1 pair.
Now Suzuki battling against Simon.
Yeah, Kurt 6 hits and 12 at bats against Simon. Again, you mentioned Dick in his first at bat, a couple home runs against him. Drove in the Twins' only run so far.
One and two. And Suzuki's hit by the pitch. Simon hits Sano with 2 outs in the third, and now Suzuki is plunked.
Yeah, he hit with Sano on a running fastball in on his left thigh, and right there a breaking ball that really didn't spin, and Suzuki just kind of turned into it. Second hit batsman of the ball game and the 6th hit batsman overall on the season for Simon, this being his 28th start.
Buxton with a bunt single on the first pitch of his second inning at bat.
See where Castellanos is playing. Take the bunt away.
That's where he's starting. With Simon delivering the pitch, he'll creep in from there, I suspect. Now backpedaling. Ball 1.
And that's what, you know, a guy that can bunt with his speed, if he's able to do that, brings in that third baseman, cuts down that third baseman's range. Ball's going to get to him a lot quicker.
That's to center. And goes, has to come in. The wind knocking that ball down a little bit. 2 down. And now Hicks. Hicks with a single to right. Got as far as second base in the first inning, and then he struck out on an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, the only strikeout that Simon has in a ball game so far, and that was Aaron Hicks to end the second.
And a pop-up, short left. Barely onto the outfield grass. Castellanos makes the catch, and the Twins are done in the 4th. It's still 3-1 Detroit. Fans of the game, stocking caps are out here in case it gets cool. And the Twins fans are hoping the Twins can recover from an early 3-0 deficit. It's 3-1. And we head to the 5th inning. A.J. Ochter out there, and he's pitching to Anthony Goes.
Yeah, a good 4th inning, a 1-2-3 4th inning on 9 pitches, 3 outs.
And now Ochter comes off the mound, makes a fine play, but a terrible throw. Ochter bounced off the mound as if he was expecting a bunt. He picked it up and then threw wildly.
Yeah, it should be an error on the pitcher, Ochter, right there. He had plenty of time to make a good throw and threw it in the running lane as goes running down that line. See him react nicely, does it right, bare hands it, and then just overshoots Joe Mauer. It is an error on Ochter, but Goes stays at first base.
Kinsler, the batter, singled and scored in the first and bounced to Plouffe in the second. And that's just wide of the bag. One strike. Swing and a miss. Phil Hughes came up short of the 70-75 pitches, but he struggled in his final inning in the third. And rather than run him out for the start of an inning, the Twins got him out after 3. Ochter's picked up the game.
Ochter attacking the strike zone, but needs a ground ball right here. Got some movement on that fastball.
Fouled away.
That one left up.
Oh, 0-2 to Ian Kinsler. Tigers out hitting the Twins 6-5. That's hit to left. It's hanging in the air for Rosario. Makes the catch, one away. One down, and that'll bring up Cabrera.
Well, Cabrera came into the ball game hitting .339. A couple games ago, he was hitting .349. Both for his last 17. Now at hitting at .338.
0 for 2 tonight. He had a liner toward right center field, but I think the wind helped knock it down, and Hicks was able to grab it. And he hit a ground ball to Escobar, his second time up. There goes another one. He should be able to get 2. There's 1 and 2. Twins catching the Tigers when Cabrera is struggling, yet tonight they're behind 3-1.
Circle, and we have $100 worth of scratch-off tickets, and they go to Aaron and Jackie, who are here with their twins, Isabel and Carolyn. And let me see your signs. We got the full-on signs and a birthday for Jackie, correct? Yeah. And who is the artist that is responsible for that sign in particular? Aaron?
I drew that.
You drew that?
Yes, Sharpies and foam board. And I don't know, probably 6+ hours. So,
is that it?
I think so.
I see room for at least a couple more details.
Right. All right, fine. I guess I'll go back and work on it a little more then.
I'd like to see it later in the week if you could make some additions.
Well, we'll be back. We'll be back then. I'll see if I can bring it back.
Congratulations to you guys. Happy birthday to you, Jackie. $100 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets. Isabel and Carolyn, do you have anything to say about this or the sweet socks that you are wearing?
It's all about the thighs. It's all about the baby thighs.
And the drool. A lot of drool going on over here, Dick and Bert.
Jackie, happy birthday. You are all here by Circle.
What is that back here?
Future baseball analysts. Brian Dozier, Joe Mauer, Miguel Sano. 1-1 to Dozier and a tapper foul, 1-2. Twins got a run in the second. Tigers got the first 3 runs. The Twins have had at least one base runner on in every inning. Dozier with a liner to left. Tyler Collins made a very nice running catch in the first inning. And then Dozier hit a ground ball to Castellanos. And another tapper foul. Pitch
4 pitches, a changeup.
Popped up. It is back. And out of play.
Watch out. Nice souvenir.
The guy sitting a couple of chairs over will have a nice souvenir too. A nice bruise on his right shoulder. 1-2 to Dozier. And now 2-2. Dozier trying to get aboard. The Twins got a leadoff single from Hicks in the first, but didn't score. And now 3-2.
Yeah, Simon making his 28th start. He has one complete game this year. That a one-hit shutout over the Texas Rangers back in late August. This is his 79th Major League start here tonight.
And a one-hopper to Romine. Dozier finally retired, 1 away. And now Mauer will hit. Carsoup.com trivia question tonight. Who holds the Twins record for reaching base in consecutive games?
Kenny Landreau's name just kind of sticks out to me.
I know the answer to this, so I'm just going to step away from the question and let you guess. Kenny Landreau had the longest hitting streak of what, 33 games.
Right. That's why I figured he would, maybe be in the picture.
1 strike to Mauer. And taken inside, 1-1. Joe walked in the first, and a 2-hopper to Cabrera in the third. Checked his swing, or did he? Nope. Coach Conroy said he went. It's 1-2.
Let's take a look, see if Joe did go too far.
Borderline.
Very close.
1-2. Bouncer wide of the bag. First base. Astros have taken a 5-4 lead over Texas. Still batting in the top of the fourth.
Quite a finish last night with Fielder hitting the big game-winning home run, beating the Astros.
And Simon again with a nice fielding play and a hot 1-hopper off the bat of Mauer. 2 down. Kansas City beat Cleveland 2-0. The Indians trying to get back into the race, but they're having a terrible time getting to and then above the 500 mark. See the Twins starting the game, one game out of a wild card spot, but Texas a half game behind Houston. So if the Twins win their game here tonight, they'll be no more than a half game out of a playoff spot. With after today 18 games left. Sano hit into a double play in the first and was hit by a pitch in the third. Off the plate, 1-1. Two and 1.
.75 pitches right now. 1 walk, 1 strikeout for Simon.
Strike. Incidentally, with Kansas City winning, the Tigers have been dethroned as American League Central champions. Two and 2 to Miguel Sano. Pulled foul. Very pleasant night here at Target Field. And that you're not here and you're watching on TV is just fine too. This is a fun time of the year to be a baseball fan. 2 and 2 to Miguel Sano.
Simon has done a very good job of changing speeds here tonight.
And now 3 and 2 with Plouffe on deck. Simon has not had a 1-2-3 inning. He's not given up a hit since Plouffe's base hit in the third. Another full count to Sano. And a big foul pop behind the screen. And Simon gets a new baseball. He does not seem to be in any hurry at all.
No, he does take his time. The new rule has not affected him.
And Sano, upper 70s offering strikes out. Simon does have a 1-2-3 inning. To the 20th. Thursday night is a Thirsty Thursday night featuring happy hour from 5:30 to 6:30, including deeply discounted beverages and appetizers at select Target Field locations. Saturday is a DQ Sensational Saturday. Sunday, a Super America Not Whole Kids Day. 833 Twins or twinsbaseball.com to get tickets.
Well, A.J. Octor out there for his third inning of relief. Base a minimum so far. He did have an error last inning himself, but got the double play off the bat of Miguel Cabrera.
Off the plate, and it's 1-1.
Done a good job of throwing the ball over the plate. 17 pitches, 15 strikes.
Hit hard to center. Buxton back and over and can't make the play. And Martinez has a double. Very well hit ball for a leadoff double here in the sixth.
Well, I'll tell you what, they found somebody that can really swing the bat in Martinez from the Houston organization. Had a great year last year, putting together a better year this year, just out of the reach of Buxton. 28th double of the year for Martinez, his first hit of the game.
Victor Martinez has 2 singles tonight. A strike that covers the inside corner.
Yeah, both those singles coming off of Phil Hughes, who worked the first 3 innings.
And a ball hit down the right field line, a fair ball. J.D. Martinez will score. It's 4-1. And Victor Martinez, who Bert has said has really struggled from the left side of the plate, has 3 hits here.
That picks up his second RBI of the ball game, and it's a 4-1 the Tigers lead on his third hit. as J.D. Martinez scores for the second time in the game. Little cutter right there. Martinez opening up quickly and hitting it down that right field line.
2 good innings for Octor. And you can see Martinez wheeling around third and scoring. Octor running into some trouble here in the 6th. The double and a single, nobody out. And the Tigers back up by 3. Very formidable. A lot of very good veteran hitters. And we've seen that in evidence here in tonight's game. Martinez with 3 hits, 2 runs batted in.
And Blaine Boyer coming in out of the bullpen, making his 60th relief appearance. The most of any Twin out of that bullpen this year. 56 2/3 innings, only 17 walks, 4 intentional with 29 strikeouts. He last worked Saturday in Chicago.
Castellanos with a 2-out single in the first, driving in a run. Fox Tracks presented by Ram. Low, ball 1. One of the concerns the Twins have had with Boyer is his inability to hold runners on well, and that's not an issue here with Victor Martinez at first.
Yeah, you could almost go out of the windup.
1-0 to Castellanos. Swing and a miss.
Boyer throws a lot of off-speed pitches, big breaking ball. Fastball has some movement on it. Spent some time on a disabled list. Right elbow inflammation. Still used a lot out of that bullpen this year. Guy that they really didn't expect anything out of spring training. I mean, he came in as a non-roster player, made the club.
One and one. See if they can get 2. 1, 2. Nicely done. Boyer gets the ground ball. Escobar, Dozier to Mauer, 2 away.
Yeah, second straight inning the Twins have turned a 6-4-3 double play. Castellanos hitting the ball sharply to Escobar. He flips it over to Dozier and let Dozier complete the double play.
Tyler Collins, the left fielder, has struck out twice. Ball 1.
Collins, 25 years old, a couple stints with the Tigers this year. Started with the Tigers in the outfield, then sent down in June, then recalled in late July.
Just based on what we've seen, it appears the Tigers have a black hole in left field, at least offensively. Stephen Moya was out there last night, struck out 4 times, and now Collins has struck out twice. Two and 0, and now 2-1. You can't help but wonder what might have happened had the Tigers kept Price, Cespedes, and Soria. The Royals are at least invincible. They've gone 2-8 in their last 10 games.
Yeah, did they pull the trigger too quickly? Could that have cost Dave Dombrowski his job?
Well, the Tigers, whether it had anything to do with Dozier's crushing 3-run home run here right before the All-Star break. Well, now Boyer has walked Tyler Collins with 2 outs. Tigers made the decision that they would be unlikely to re-sign Cespedes, who's a free agent after this year. Same too with David Price.
Right. David Price basically said, you know, he's going to be a free agent. They wanted to get something back in return. And we'll see one of those returns tomorrow night. Daniel Norris came over from the Blue Jays in that David Price trade. He'll be starting tomorrow night.
But they're only expecting about 50 pitches from him because he's been hurt.
Right.
Here's McCann. Runner goes.
No chance.
Nope.
What a great jump right there by Collins.
And again, it's Boyer's inability to hold runners. And now Collins is in scoring position.
Well, it's the high leg kick. Watch right there. You see him bring that leg up, and Collins got a great read, great jump. Steals his 2nd base of the year.
The Twins are wondering whether Collins might have come off the bag with Dozier leaving the glove on him. He got in, but then watch his feet. Dozier just leaving the glove right there, but nothing evidently to call him out. 1 strike. To the right field corner, but foul.
I think one thing we have seen now is, you know, with the instant replay and having the opportunity to watch runners slide into second base, that middle infielder, that sweeping quick tag is no more. I mean, you put it on there and you hold it on that runner in case that foot or arm comes off the bag.
Oh, 0-2. Boyer trying to get the Twins off the field here in the top of the 6th. Dug out by Suzuki.
We've talked about Boyer before, a guy that was basically out of baseball. He retired in 2012. Got his real estate license, financial business license. Decided, I believe it was it Paul Bird that convinced him in the Atlanta area where he makes home to try it again. A couple of years ago, signed with the Kansas City Royals, went to Japan to pitch last year with the Padres, this year with the Twins.
And there are plenty of relievers out there, but Logan Darnell, who might otherwise have been a long reliever, is not feeling well and unavailable for tonight's game. The Twins got 2 innings from Octor. And now trying to get 3 outs from Boyer.
Tigers with 2 in the first, 1 in the second. And the leadoff double here in the 6th has led to another run. Boyer walking Collins. Watching Collins steal second promptly. 1-2 to McCann. And a chopper. Boyer can't make the play, and the inning will continue. So it'll be a hit for McCann. And on the play, Collins goes to third.
That's a play a pitcher's got to make right there. It's kind of a swinging bunt. We saw Goals last night get a base hit, and Boyer reaching down for the ball, and just off his fingertips. I don't know if he had been able to get it, if he'd been able to spin and get McCann at first base.
Romine, a switch hitter, a little bit better hitter from the right side of the plate than left. And suddenly this inning, which started with a double and a base hit and saw a pitching change. Only one batter's been retired. Castellanos on the double play grounder. And the Tigers threatening to turn this inning into a really ugly one. Romine with a bouncer to short and a fly to left. Inside, ball 1.
Romine hitting at 250, as you said, a switch hitter. Came up with the Angels, spent 4 seasons with the Angels, in his 2nd season with the Tigers. Good utility infielder.
One and 0. 3 hits, a walk. So far, just 1 Tiger run. Suzuki catching ball 2 down and in. Phil Hughes lasted just 3 innings here tonight. Comes on pitcher number 3, 2-0. And a chopper foul. Michael Tonkin warming up alongside O'Rourke. Two and 1. 2-2. Romine getting a chance to play because Jose Iglesias was hit by a pitch. And he'd been doing a great job both in the field at the plate. That happened in early September, and they don't expect him back for another week and a half or so.
It happened on a bunt play. He tried to bunt the ball, and the ball came in on him, and he ended up fracturing that finger.
And the tapper foul. Boyer about to throw his 20th pitch. Two and 2. Dozier catching the line drive in a marathon. Top of the 6th comes to a close. The Tigers add 1 more, and Trevor Plouffe will lead off the bottom of the inning. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's, the classic quarter pounder with cheese only at McDonald's, and right now just $3. Time for the Twins lineup to get to work here. They've been stifled by Alfredo Simon, Trevor Plouffe, Eddie Rosario, Eduardo Escobar to hit here in the 6th. The Twins down by 3 again. Down and away, ball 1.
Well, again, Simon's really changing speeds a lot. A lot of off-speed pitches, occasional fastball, just kind of to show the fastball. And he's keeping the hitters off balance. They had hit some balls sharply, but the defense for the Tigers made some nice plays behind him.
Plouffe gets a fastball up and away and swings at it. Just seems to be one of those guys that will show you the fastball, but he won't throw it over the plate. And if you want to hit the fastball, you got to chase.
You see the speed range right there, as low as 75. That's probably the big breaking ball that struck out Sano, and then as high as 95.
And again, up and away. Trevor swings and misses. 1 and 2. Sharply hit, 2 hops. Romine across the way, 1 down.
Well, we kind of talked going into the ballgame. You don't know what you're going to get from Simon, because in his 15 starts, you know, he's been really good. And then you look at the 12 starts, in the 12 losses, not so good. And you look at that, Dick, who do you think of?
Kyle Gibson.
Kyle Gibson.
2 starts ago, Simon was great against the Indians. 7 innings, just 2 hits. And then he had a rematch with the Indians. And they scored 5 runs, 9 hits, and 6 2/3 innings. Here's Rosario, and there is a strike at the knees. Rosario with a triple to right center field, a run scored in the 2nd. And he hit a 1-hopper back to the mound in the 3rd. Lazy fly to center. Let's see what the wind is doing to the tall fly balls here. 2 down. And that'll bring up Escobar. But first, as promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong Fan photo of the game. To tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag #NorthDataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Way to go, Rich. Thank you for the photo.
2 down. Now you look up and guys sent down 7 men in a row. Escobar to the right field corner, and that's down for a hit. It'll get to the wall. Escobar heading for second. Martinez with an off-target throw, and it's a 2-out double.
Well, Escobar jumping on the first pitch, first hit for the Twins since the 3rd inning. And for Escobar, his 28th double. So jumping on that first pitch, an off-speed pitch. And Escobar pulling it. J.D. Martinez. This is a double the whole way. You have to think double right here. There's 2 outs. And Escobar right there. Slides in safely in the 2nd.
Suzuki drove in the only Twins run tonight with a 2-out single. And strike 1. Suzuki then hit by a pitch in the 4th. Go ahead, you want to say it?
No, I'm not.
No.
How old are you now?
Well, that's irrelevant. Just sounds like I'm 16. Fouled off the end of the bat.
Wouldn't you like to be 16 again, though?
I don't think so.
I would.
Really?
Oh, I would have done a lot of things different.
Really?
Yeah. I still would have signed. out of high school.
Okay. All right.
But I would have done a lot of things different.
Really? I think it's a good thing we've got 2 outs in the inning, which will keep me from asking you what.
Come on, ask me.
What's the one thing that you would have done differently at age 16?
Oh, I can't say.
1 and 2.
Time goes by too fast, though. I'll tell you that. Folks, appreciate every day.
Foul tip, and McCann hangs on. The Twins leave Escobar at second and still trail 4-1.
A couple in the first inning. Phil Hughes, who came into the ballgame just off the disabled list and reinstated today on a pitch count, but too many pitches in 3 innings. He gave up 3 hits in the first on a couple hits, and then a couple hits and a run in the second inning to make it a 3-0 Tiger lead. Twins came back with 1 in the bottom of the second to make it a 3-1 ball game, thanks to Kurt Suzuki's RBI single that scored Rosario, who had tripled. But the Tigers add 1 more. Victor Martinez having a good night at the plate. 3 hits, and he's driven in 2 of the 4 runs.
And now to the 7th inning. Blaine Boyer still out there, and Anthony goes at the plate. Threatened to bunt in the first inning, didn't. Did bunt for attempting to bunt for a hit in the 5th inning. And then Ochter picked it up and threw wildly. He reached on an error.
That's one thing I like about Goes. This, he's 25 years old. He came over from the Blue Jay organization, but he will show that he will bunt, and he'll lay it down, utilize his speed. Rajai Davis, the other player, a right-handed hitter for the Tigers, that also brings a lot of energy with him to the ballpark. Not getting much playing time now. Goes, shows bunt again. Here's Mr. Davis.
One and 2 on the outside corner. Boyer strikes out Goes, and now he will pitch to Kinsler. You can follow live Twins baseball every day with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected to the Twins all season with MLB.tv Game of the Day, in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. Browse the app's new features, including StatCast tracking videos and bilingual access for Spanish-speaking fans. Download MLB.com at bat The #1 app for live baseball. Blue fields in foul territory. Kinsler 1 for 3, singled and scored in the first.
It's game 144 for both these ball clubs, and Kinsler has played in 141 of the games, as J.D. Martinez has, and that's one thing Kinsler has been able to do over his career. Stay pretty healthy. 8 seasons with the Rangers, a couple seasons now with the Tigers.
One and one. Trying to burn a fastball over the inside corner, missed.
Kinsler, 33 years old, career .273 hitter. 180 career home runs.
There's the corner.
Excuse me, 183 career home runs for Kinsler.
That's to center. And Buxton lopes in to make the catch. 2 down. And that'll bring up Cabrera with the bases empty. Cabrera 0 for 3, bounced into a double play his last time up. On the outside corner, a strike.
Cabrera came into the ball game 0 for his last 15 at bats and 0 for 3 here so far. Say that too often about this guy. An 0 for 18 at bats.
And Buxton will get another chance in right center field.
Make it 19. Wow.
Boyer has a 1-2-3-7 hitter. Seventh, and tonight be sure to catch Fox Sports Live on Fox Sports 1 for complete highlights and analysis of everything that happened in Major League Baseball today, plus the latest from the NFL and the world of sports. Fox Sports Live is tonight on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
All right, Twins need base runners right here. Buxton, see if he bunts right here.
Bunted for a hit in the second, hit a fly ball to center in the fourth.
Simon out there to start the 7th inning. 91 pitches, 60 have been strikes.
And a breaking ball on the outside corner.
You know what? He's getting ahead in the count. 19 of 27 first pitch strikes for Simon.
One and one. Twins haven't had a leadoff man on since Hicks and his leadoff single in the first. Hicks will bat next. Upstairs and got a swing and a miss.
Simon with 3 strikeouts, 1 walk.
Drew Verhagen, Blaine Hardy warming up. 1-2 to Byron Buxton. And a foul back. Buxton with just over 100 at bats in the big leagues. Another 1-2. Another foul.
Yeah, 3 straight fastballs. I think that's the first time in a game that he has thrown 3 straight fastballs.
Buxton trying to get aboard here to get something started in the 7th.
Another fastball.
And that is by Castellanos. Buxton will round first, fly to second base, and he goes in standing up.
Wow. You know, Castellanos too. I mean, we've seen him make some good plays at third, but when you know that you're playing back and who is hit the ball, you try to get this ball as quick as you can and make a quick throw. Now, fastball wanted it inside but down. Castellanos kind of backpedaling right there. Just kind of boxed it up. And Buxton seeing it, hustling, and in. I mean, not even a slide.
So Buxton aboard at second base with a double.
With a double.
And now Hicks. Twins haven't obviously strung much together against Simon. They did get 3 hits and score a run in the second. And Hicks drops down a bunt, drags it with him up the line, first and third. Buxton got a hit, a bunt hit up the third baseline, and Hicks dropped that beautifully right up the first baseline.
Well, I'm surprised McCann didn't go after that. He kind of backpedaled. He saw that he couldn't get it, so he backpedaled because of Buxton at second base. But watch the bunt right here. This is a nice bunt right here by Hicks. And watch McCann right there. Scoot back. Uh-oh. Where's Buxton? Is he already coming home? What a perfectly placed bunt, though. I mean, you can let that ball go, but it wasn't going to go foul. It was going to die right there.
Jeff Jones to the mound. A quick trip to the mound with the Twins bringing the tying run to the plate in Brian Dozier. Dozier with a liner to left and a couple of ground balls.
Dozier leading the club with 27 home runs. His last home run coming last Sunday, a week ago Sunday, in Houston.
Neil Cott's warmed up, peering over the outfield fence. Dozier hoping to get something up that he can pull and drive. Hicks 11 steals and 14 tries. Up and ball one. Twins have been quieted by Alfredo Simon so far tonight. Trying to make some noise here in the seventh. A strike.
An off-speed pitch. Simon now at 100 pitches. 116 are the most he has thrown in a ball game. That in his 9-inning shutout against the Rangers.
Fox Tracks had that high. Brought to you by Carrier. One and one.
You can see the ERA, how it has escalated as the game goes on.
Frankly, hasn't been very good in the first 3 innings.
No, but you know, 27 starts, only 10 quality starts for Simon on the year.
1-1 to Dozier.
He has won 12 games.
Got one to hit, and he fouled it straight back. Simon dawdling with men on base. One and two. Awfully long time between pitches 3 and 4 in this at bat.
Well, baseball's trying to speed it up. It's up to the umpires to kind of help speed it up by saying something here.
Now, maybe the 1-2 pitch. Catcher McCann comes out. One of the things they say about McCann, he's been a take charge guy. He has very quickly become a leader on this Tiger team. In this instance, trying to
say the right words, find the right formula.
And Dozier on a half swing, strikes out, 1 down.
Strikeout number 4, a big strikeout right there for Simon. With a running fastball, looked like it was inside. McCann getting up in his catcher's position.
In the end of the day for Alfredo Simon. Twins reached him for 8 hits. Have so far managed just the 1 run. And Joe Mauer will hit with 2 men on.
Only 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Now he's asking for help out of a bullpen that has struggled all season long. With Lane Hardy coming out of the bullpen, making his 64th relief appearance. He's done a pretty good job out of that bullpen. 2.81 earned run average. 54 hits in 57 2/3 innings. And 52 strikeouts. He has walked 20, 2 intentional.
This is one of those at-bats we were talking about yesterday. The Twins need Joe Mauer to come through here, with the Twins in danger of letting one slip away in the middle of this series. Mauer with runners at first and third and 1 down.
Hardy with not an overpowering fastball, very good changeup, and then a breaking ball. There's a fastball right there at 90.
Mauer 2 for 5 against Hardy. 0 for 2 with a walk here tonight. And on the outside corner, Mauer with 3 hits, all sharply hit in the ball game last night. Buxton doubled Hicks with a bunt single. Hardy giving up a .212 batting average to left-handed batters. One and one. Up and in, didn't miss by much.
Hardy originally signed by the Kansas City Royals back in 2008 out of Lewis and Clark. 28-year-old lefty.
2-2. All kinds of speed out there. Now we're trying to, at the very least, get Buxton in from third. Quick throw to first. 2-2. Bauer got a piece of a breaking ball down and away. The big man awaits on deck. Hardy might be facing his only batter here tonight.
Right.
Another 2-2. Full count.
And when the count is full for Joe Mauer, very, very good numbers. See, the league average had only 210, but not Joe.
That's why he's been so good with men in scoring position. See if Hicks takes off here. He goes. And Mauer takes ball 4. And Sano will come up with the bases loaded, and we'll have another pitching change.
Hardy tried to fool Joe Mauer. Now let's do a little pitch by pitch to Joe Mauer. Fastball away. Another fastball. It evens the count to 1-1. And then the high breaking ball makes it 2-1. Another fastball. Took something off that at 86 miles an hour. Even to count. Joe fought up a pretty good curveball right there. And then on a 3-2 pitch, Hardy tried to come back with that breaking ball and left it up.
Hardy asked to get Mauer. He didn't. And now Sano will come up with the bases loaded. Towering blast. Sano gives it a ride to left field. Gone, a home run for Miguel Sano. Gone in a moment. Sano can take his time circling the bases.
All right, can you say that again in this at bat?
Well, the fans haven't had much to get riled up about, but they are riled up. Verhagen, the pitcher for the Tigers, won his last outing, his first major league win, and a relief appearance in Cleveland.
Yeah, up and down the last couple of years with the Tigers. Verhagen with a good fastball, curveball, circle changeup.
Up and in, not close.
Verhagen, just 24 years old, made one appearance last year, a start against the Indians. Ended up getting the loss. Now in the bullpen. A couple stints with him this year.
Fouled back, 1-1. Sano 0 for 2. Ground ball double play, hit by a pitch, struck out swinging in the 5th. inside, 2-1.
Well, you see the red batting gloves, and he ended up getting hit in the thigh. So he's got new gloves.
DHs simply have too much time on their hands. 2-1. Toward the hole, through for a base hit. Buxton scores, Hicks right behind him, and Sano comes through with a 2-run single.
Verhagen fell behind, had to come in with a pitch, and Sano didn't miss it. Found that gap between third and short. RBIs number 46 and 47, and it's a 1-run deficit for the Twins.
Mauer at second, Sano at first for Plouffe. Plouffe with a single, a fly ball, and a ground ball. Down and away, ball 1.
Well, Trevor sitting at 79 runs batted in. He had 80 last year. That was a career high. That led the Twins in that department. Good time to pick up his 80th here or more.
Breaking ball hits the corner.
Big curveball right there. There's Trevor Plouffe leading the club.
Down and away, 2-1. Chopper to short, and it's a double play grounder to end the inning. The Twins get 2. The comeback comes up 1 short. We head to the 8th inning. It's 4-3. .46, 47th runs batted in of the year.
Well, I get the count in his favor right there. A little pitch by pitch to Miguel Sano. Verhagen missing with that high fast or breaking ball. And then the fastball. Sano had a good swing right there with bases loaded. Just missed a home run. Fell behind. Now it's 2-1. Got a fastball out over the plate. And got that base hit to left field. Drove in a couple runs.
It's a 1-run game going to the 8th inning now. J.D. Martinez will face Trevor May.
Now Trevor May making his 27th relief appearance. 16 starts for the Twins. Done a great job out of that bullpen.
Strike on the outside corner. Where over the course of the season we've seen velocity drop for most of the Twins pitchers, and the move to the bullpen is a big part of it. We've seen the velocity increase for Trevor May. Typically 93 as a starter, and then up to 95 as a reliever, but now every once in a while we'll see 96, 97.
You know, he just says, you know, doing one inning at a time, he can just make sure he gets good and loose down in that bullpen and just air it out. And he has been doing that.
Alex Wilson warming up in the Tiger bullpen. 2-1.
I mean, basically good old country hardball right there. Just here, that ball had a little sink on it right there, but still at 95 miles an hour.
Bouncer foul on the changeup.
Three very good pitches: the overpowering fastball, the hard curveball, and then an outstanding changeup for Trevor May.
Very high, and it's a full count. Victor Martinez on deck, and then Nick Castellanos. And a foul ball.
May is a reliever in his 26 relief appearances, 26 and a third innings, 31 strikeouts.
Fouled back. May coming in, pitching to the middle of the Tiger lineup. To short right. Dozier out. Hicks is there, one away.
Yeah, fastball in, got in on him. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
3 hits for Victor Martinez, 2 runs batted in. He'll hit here in the 8th with 1 out and the bases empty. Down and in, ball 1. Twins with the third baseman shifting over to the right side of the infield. Two and 0.
Curveball and a changeup to fall behind.
Line right to Dozier. 2 down.
In short right field. Martinez hit it sharply right at Brian Dozier.
Bases empty. 2 down for Castellanos. Castellanos with an RBI single in the first, struck out in the third, hit into a double play in the 6th. Breaking ball over the inside corner. 1-1. Angels scored 3 runs early against King Felix. They lead Seattle 3-1. Both the Blue Jays and Yankees lost. Kansas City beat Cleveland. 1-1. Driven to right, Hicks back. And that wraps up the 8th inning. A 1-2-3-8 for Trevor May.
Not being a fan. Much of your time is spent imagining what you want things to be like for that team you love. Dream seasons, dream matchups, dream opportunities. For it to happen, you need to see the future. In Minnesota, much of it has arrived, ready to make the Twins a fall force. Like inning and score, balls and strikes, the future happens one day, one moment, one pitch at a time. Can they shape it and seize it, define and dominate it, reach it and realize it? Twins fans can see the future. It looks like right now.
Miguel Sano with a 2-run single in the 7th, and Eddie Rosario will lead things off for the Twins in the 8th.
And they'll be facing Alex Wilson coming out of the bullpen, making his 55th relief appearance.
Rosario lifts the first pitch down the left field line, a very long run. And Collins has no play.
Let's go, straighten it out now. Let's go. Don't jump. Don't swing at the jump.
Wilson, 28 years old in his first season with the Tigers, coming over from the Boston Red Sox.
Josh Wilson is in at third base for Castellanos. 1 strike to Rosario. And now 2 strikes. Rosario, Escobar, and Suzuki here in the 8th. Twins have been playing from behind all night long. 2 runs for the Tigers in the first, another in the second. Now back to within a run. And fouled back. There hasn't been much that's gone right for the Tigers in the pitching department, but Wilson's been a good find for Detroit. And another one spun foul over by the tarp and out of play.
Yeah, Wilson with not an overpowering fastball. Very good slider. It's in a curveball, changeup. Oh, very nice. Very nice of that gentleman right there to give that young lady the baseball. Something she will remember forever.
Another 0-2 to Rosario. Just 11 walks, just 4 home runs allowed by Wilson. Another one popped foul over the Tiger dugout.
Alex Wilson, born in Saudi Arabia. His father worked for Texaco. Attended Texas A&M University, where he signed out of Texas A&M with the Boston Red Sox back in 2009.
Rosario swung at 5 of his 6 pitches. And now the count's even. This was the way Torrey Hunter's at bat started playing out against Chris Sale on Sunday. Fell behind quickly, 0-2. Kept fouling pitches off. Got the count to 2-2. And then crushed one. Chopper to second. And Kinsler, a half step, got Rosario one down. I believe the answer to our carsoup.com trivia question is my favorite twin.
Mr. Allison?
Yeah. 42 times consecutively he reached early in the 1961 season.
First year of the Twins here in the Twin Cities area.
Harmon did it 40 times consecutively in 1967.
Molitor, that was the 38 game hitting streak he had.
No, that was with Milwaukee.
Was that with Milwaukee?
Yep. Here is Escobar. And outside, ball 1. Hits are even at 9 apiece. And now 2-0. Escobar with a double his last time up. Hit the ball hard his first time up. Kinsler took a hit away from him. Very high fly ball to center. 2 down. And Suzuki's called back. And Kenny Vargas will try to tie it up with one swing. A year ago, Vargas emerged as a prospect for the Twins and figured to be a key part to whatever success they might have this year. It didn't work out that way. Sent down to the minor leagues, first to Double-A, then to Triple-A, but he's come back up and already has shown some better at bats. Outside, ball 1.
1 for 6 as a pinch hitter.
And he's drawn a couple of walks, which was an issue when he was sent down, swinging at too many pitches. Two and 0. Now Wilson presumably will have to come into him. highlight of the year. Vargas hitting a solo home run in the ninth, a walk-off home run here against the Cardinals. Takes a strike, 2-1.
Yeah, Vargas with 5 home runs, all of them hit here at Target Field.
Three and one. Buxton on deck. Plenty of pinch running options should Vargas reach. Santana, Robinson, Nunez. Corey Hunter back in the dugout.
McCann sitting down and away.
Chopped to short. And that ends the 8th inning. We go to the 9th in a 1-run game.
The Twins trail by a run in the top of the 9th inning at Target Field. And coming up, we will bring you Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink, and look at a very anticipated at-bat from Miguel Sano. He came up in the 7th inning with the bases loaded and 1 out, knocked a 2-run single for the Twins. Also, Phil Hughes' return went 3 innings, needed 65 innings to get through the 3 innings. Jack Morris will help analyze how Hughes' return went, and we'll hear from Paul Molitor on Phil Hughes, Miguel Sano, and game number 2 against Detroit, guys.
Well, thank you, Marty. And Sano might find himself hitting in the 9th inning. Chris Herman coming off the bench to catch here in the 9th inning. Trevor May out there. Again, we're seeing what we saw last night with Paul Molitor asking a reliever to pitch not just 1 inning, but try to get that 2nd inning.
Yeah, May, guy that he can do that. This is the 4th time in 27 outings now that he has had to go out for the 2nd inning.
Plus, he is a vulture and has picked up a lot of wins in relief in situations like this, with the Twins coming back late to win a ball game. 1-2 to Collins. 2-2. Missed the inside corner at 96, and it's a full count. And he missed. May with a leadoff walk here in the ninth. And that'll bring up McCann. Romine in the on deck circle where May is pitching to the bottom third of the Tiger lineup. Twins aren't expecting a bunt here.
And McCann with a couple base hits, a double in his first at bat, then an infield hit in the sixth inning.
Now the emotions come from the Twins dugout. Paul Molitor getting Trevor Plouffe's attention. Now he's playing in on the edge of the grass. He was about 2/3 of the way back on the skin of the infield.
McCann does have 4 sacrifices on the year.
I saw Collins steal a base. It wouldn't take that great of a bunt to get him to second.
Well, that wasn't a bunt swing.
That was not a bunt swing. No. McCann with 2 hits in the game.
Dave Clark, the third base coach, getting something in his eye as he went through the signs. I don't wonder if that's a sign. Something stuck in my eye here, a bug or something.
Well, I'm guessing having been down on the field as you were, probably wind related, blowing some debris around, dust. One strike to McCann. Zipped a 94-mile-per-hour heater near his hands. Bruce Rondon, who pitched last night, looks like he's going to get the save opportunity. Jepson and O'Rourke getting loose in the Twins pen. Second time up for O'Rourke. Runner goes, and the pitch hit to right field, a base hit. A hit and run single. And Collins goes to third base. The Tigers here in the ninth inning threatening to add to their 1-run lead.
Boy, perfectly executed right there, hit and run. Brian Dozier went to cover second, and the ball was hit probably over his head anyway, but McCann picking up his 3rd hit of the ball game. You see Dozier going to second base, but the ball hit high enough into right field, so Collins scoots over to third.
See Dozier trying to decoy Collins into going down into a slide, but it didn't work. Now the Twins bring the infield in here. Romine the batter. Speedy runner at third. He's got himself a jam to try to work out of here in the ninth. And a beautiful squeeze. Now they need to get an out. And Mauer got his foot on the bag. Wow. On the first pitch, a beautiful bunt.
I was just looking up to see how Romine, how many bunts he's had, and he's had 3 sacrifices and perfectly executed right there by Romine. Good handler of the bat. Picks up an RBI, his 15th of the year.
Double sacrifice in essence, because you got the runner in from third, but you also advance the guy to first, or from first to second. Joe, to get back to the bag late, had to first catch the ball and then find the bag. So Trevor May issues a leadoff walk in the ninth inning and ends up paying the price, as the Tigers have added at least 1 more here in the ninth. the leadoff man, and a hit and run single and a squeeze bunt. Just like that, the Tigers have another run.
And Ryan O'Rourke will try to get the final 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning, making his 23rd relief appearance. It's been a struggle. He's had some good innings. He's had some bad innings. Got a couple outings, one in New York where he gave up 3 runs in 1 inning, and then the outing in here against Houston, he gave up 4 runs in 2/3 of an inning. That will keep that ERA up there for a reliever.
Here's Anthony Gose facing O'Rourke, who's been really tough for the most part against lefties.
A lot of sliders from O'Rourke. There's kind of a spinner right there. Might have been a changeup.
O'Rourke's been actually pretty effective against both righties and lefties, but Gose has had his issues versus southpaws. Fouled away.
There's a slider right there, left up a little bit. Gose fouled it off. O'Rourke, 27 years old, called up on July 6th. Started the season in Double-A Chattanooga, and then promoted to Triple-A in early April.
First half of the year was Aaron Thompson filling this role for the Twins. Now O'Rourke. Off the plate, 1-2. Soft one hopper to Dozier. Out number 2, McCann to third base. That'll bring up Kinsler. Twins are due to send up Buxton, Hicks, and Dozier. And behind Dozier, Mauer, Sano, and Plouffe.
Paul Molitor asking O'Rourke to get 1 out. The lefty of Gose is able to do that.
And O'Rourke got his man as the Twins hope to keep this game within 2. To you by CenturyLink. Irvin Santana will make the start for the Twins. Daniel Norris, just acquired from Toronto in the David Price trade, will be limited to about 50 pitches tomorrow.
Yeah, Norris, a left-hander, is on a disabled list, right oblique strain, and Irvin Santana has been red hot. 3-0 over his last 3 starts, has only allowed 3 earned runs over his last 22 innings, so hopefully he can keep it going tomorrow night.
Kevin Jepson, obviously in a non-save situation, but he's trying to get the 27th out. And Jepson, of course, has been a key guy for the Twins this year, but you might be interested to know that this is his 68th appearance of the year. He leads the American League in games pitched.
They pitched a lot for the Rays. This is his 22nd as a Twin, and he's done a great job 19 2/3 innings. He allowed only 9 hits, 7 walks, 18 strikeouts.
The veteran Kinsler at the plate, 1 for 4 tonight. Swing and a miss.
And Jepson's last outing came on Friday in Chicago.
Kinsler just 1 for 12 against Jepson. Big runner at third base. Tigers have already added 1 more here in the 9th. One and one. After a high fastball and misses. 1 and 2.
Yeah, no fooling around, and Jepson a lot like Casey Fiend. They will come right at you. Jepson 31 years old, born in Anaheim, California.
He fouled it over the Twins dugout. Nice catch.
Yeah.
We got the first hit of the game back in the first inning, a single. He later scored on a Victor Martinez single. Tigers got 3 singles, a walk, and 2 runs in the first, and haven't trailed since.
Kinsler, a veteran, stands right on top of the plate. Still very quick hands.
One and 2. Popped up. And Dozier has to scramble in to make the catch behind the mound. Because as we all know, pitchers cannot get a pop up.
Endings are imposed and inflicted. Struck him out. Got him. Breaking ball got him. Finishes are earned and celebrated. Trevor Plouffe walks him off. The most electric moment at Target Field in years. It's the last word, the closing act, the final step, the whole point. We don't remember the start. We never forget the finish. The ball hooked down the right field line into the corner. Suzuki will score, and Escobar gets the big double.
There have been 6 walk-off wins for the Twins here this year, but there's a little work to do before you dare think about that. Twins are down a couple. Byron Buxton, the scheduled batter, he'll be pinch hit for by Danny Santana, and then Aaron Hicks and Brian Dozier.
Yeah, Danny Santana will face Bruce Rondon, who pitched in last night's ball game. A shutout, 8th inning. Did give up an infield base hit to Buxton.
And the pitch is up to Santana. I'm sure Santana's been told this guy can be wild. Make sure you get a good pitch to hit or go to first with a walk. And there's a strike. 1-1.
Yeah, Rondon last night, 15 pitches, 9 for strikes.
Switch hitter Santana will be followed by switch hitter Hicks. Strike 2.
Fastball at 99. Easy release by a big man, Rondon. 6'3", 275.
One and 2 to Santana. Back foul.
They've really been waiting a couple years for Rondon to take that closer role. He did have the Tommy John in 2014, earlier this year on a disabled list. Right shoulder soreness.
1 and 2. 2 and 2.
16 walks in 27 innings pitched, but also 35 strikeouts.
Recovers to backhand the ball and throw Santana out.
Yeah, good reaction by the pitcher Rondon. That ball gets by him. It may have been an infield base hit. He kind of reached out at the last second. His momentum was taking him toward that first base line, but able to get back and get it in his glove. Watch his follow through right here. Kind of reach back. He doesn't get that ball. It's an infield base hit for Santana.
And now Hicks, with 2 hits, including a bunt single his last time up. Ball 1. This game very important to the Twins, less so to the Tigers. Oakland and Chicago playing a game that is not significant at all. It's 17-6, and the last couple innings have been pitched for the White Sox. Lurie Garcia and Alexi Ramirez is on the mound right now for the White Sox. Hicks takes a strike at the belt, 1-1.
Yeah, and that Houston Texas game too, they're tied 5-5 going to in the bottom of the 8th inning.
That game of extreme importance to everybody in Texas and a lot of folks up here. Right. 1-1 to Aaron Hicks. Got a pitch up and fouled it straight back. 1-2. Buxton lifted for a pinch hitter as Suzuki was in the 8th inning. Sano hoping for a chance. Popped up. Playable for Romine. And now it'll be left to Dozier. 2 down. Dozier 0 for 4. Trying to keep the game alive for Mauer in the on-deck circle. And then the Twins hope Sano. Inside, 100 miles per hour. Missed the corner, ball 1. Inside again, 2-0.
12 pitches. I think they've all been fastballs. 97 to 100.
Seven of them for strikes. Inside again. 3-0. Mauer on deck.
Brian will take a pitch right here, make him throw a strike. Twins need a base runner.
Strike over the inside corner. You should pretty much know what's coming. You don't know where it's going to be at, but you know what's coming.
Well, you know it's going to be about 97 to 100 miles an hour too, so be quick. Find a gap out there. McCann sitting pretty much right down the heart of the plate.
And a walk will get Mauer to the plate as the tying run. Brad Ausmus looking on, hoping that Rondon can get the save. Meanwhile, folks in Twins territory are hoping that Mauer can backspin one of those drives to the left field corner and get one to carry out. Oh for 2 with 2 walks. Dozier goes to second. Tigers don't care. I'm a little surprised they're not more in a no doubles defense here, although where that would be for Joe I don't know, but the third baseman Wilson is well off the line at third base. Those always plays a shallow center field. One strike to Mauer. Crack to the gap. Dozier will score. Mauer digging for second. And the tying run is in scoring position. And Sano will have one more chance.
Well, Rondon has thrown nothing but fastballs. He threw Joe Mauer a fastball out over the plate. Joe went with it. And Jones, the pitching coach, out to talk to his right-hander as Joe Mauer picks up his 29th double. Fastball, not a lot of movement, pretty much right down the heart of the plate. Joe slicing it into left center. Dozier scores. Mauer in second base with an RBI double.
Sano the batter. Twins have some speed on the base. I'm just going to mention that the Twins have some speed on the bases, and Eduardo Nunez will come off the bench and run now for Mauer. Sano with a 2-run single his last time up.
First breaking ball he threw was to Sano, and that's maybe what Jones went out to talk to him about. Hey, you got to mix in your other pitches.
Miguel Sano is 213 at bats. He's driven in 47 runs. Oh, and 2.
And another slider.
Oh, and 2 to Sano. Got him. 3 breaking balls after nothing but fastballs through the first 4 batters.
That was a good trip to the mound by Jeff Jones, just telling Rondon, who's got that good fastball, but you got to pitch, you know, you got to pitch a little bit. Don't just throw. And he did that against Sano. See nothing but fastballs. There's a breaking ball right there, a slider, a better one down and away. And then to put him away, another good slider.
Well, Anthony LaPanta, the Tigers got a run on the top of the 9th, and turns out that's the run that decided Game 2 here tonight.
Interesting to the finish, no doubt, here at Target Field. The Tigers snap a 4-game losing streak against the Twins with a 5-4 win. Take a look at a couple of big at-bats from Miguel Sano. Break down Phil Hughes' return to the mound. And hear from Paul Molitor next on Twins Live, presented